Hello, hello.
Oh man,
How you doing, dude?
I'm nervous talking to the man himself.
No, not at all. Not at all. Nothing to be nervous about.
All right. Anyway, how do you want to kick this thing up?
Well, first of all, you have an excellent voice. I
Yeah, I know.
I love it. Let's see. I guess I have an understanding of what you're doing. But I guess I need a better understanding of it. I'm actually probably going to ask a lot of like targeted questions because this is actually we haven't done this we haven't done this kind of question, and that's why I'm like really excited to have it. But this is going to be like a lot of like really actionable business stuff, which is not something I often get to get into because most of the stuff we do is like self improvement stuff, right? Um,
Right.
yeah. So I would say like basically just like detailing where you're at right now, and then not really worrying too much about it, just like general overview because I'm probably going to ask like a million questions. So
No problem. All right.
yeah.
Uh, Let me see. So basically, it's Amazon arbitrage, right? Like I buy products from, say, Target and find it on Amazon using a software at a higher price and buy it from Target, ship it to my house. I package it for Amazon, take it to UPS, they ship it to Amazon. Amazon ships it to the customer that buys it, basically. Does that make sense?
So you're buying products from Target, you're shipping them to Amazon fulfillment, right?
Right.
Okay.
Different stores, but yeah. Target as an example.
Okay. So buying from retail stores. Would you say it's all retail stores?
Retail stores, I'm slowly trying to transition to wholesale, bulk, buying in bulk, and it'll be higher ROI as well. But for right
Okay.
now, just basically online retail arbitrage.
Okay. Um. All right. And you're shipping to Amazon fulfillment, and then Amazon fulfillment, um, then sends who's doing the actual selling of the product after that?
Amazon, but I get they take out fees, like a referral fee, which is 15%. I can actually send you a product if you want to give an example.
Sure. And also, is it so? Are you running the store as well on Amazon?
I basically set the price. The image is already there on Amazon. There's sometimes other sellers besides me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Amazon. It's basically I find the item at a lesser price, buy it, send it in, and sell it at Amazon's price. Amazon handles all the they do all the fulfillment basically, all the selling, everything.
Yeah, but the question I have is it your store basically? So are you listing
Yeah.
the? It is your store.
Yes.
Okay. So you're listing the product on your Amazon store, and you're and then you're selling it, and then Amazon fulfillment takes a percentage of the referral, but you're basically just arbitraging products that you can get cheaper at retail or whatever locations you can find into Amazon and selling them for
Right.
more, right?
Right. But yeah, and I make the difference
What's
after
your
fee.
what's the average margin on doing that?
This product I'm about to send you, it has a 36% margin and a 89% ROI.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and
What's the difference between ROI and because when I think of so if it costs you $10 to buy a shirt or make a shirt and then you sell it for $20, right? Then your margin would be 50%, right? Because you're making $10.
Mhm.
So when you say ROI, what's the difference between that and a margin?
So let's see. So like this product I just sent you, I can get it for $7.99.
Can I show
On
this on stream?
Amazon, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and it sells actually really well. So it'll be I give away products all the time on my YouTube, so it's not a big deal.
Okay. So you can get this for $7.99?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At,
Okay. So and then this is your store?
No, if you look on Amazon's page underneath other sellers on Amazon, so it's Amazon's page listing, but
Yeah.
and it's has the Amazon choice. But if you look under other sellers, It's something called a buy box, and it's some kind of Amazon algorithm. Nobody knows how it works. They just know that it tends to be the lower price. And say there's 3 guys right now that I see that have 1995. There has been 3 sales the past 5 days. So I would say I would give it an 80% chance that each of them got 1 sale.
Okay.
So it works that way.
Okay. So you're on this screen that I'm on now. You are one of these.
I'm actually not selling this one yet.
But if you were, you would be on here somewhere.
Yes, I would be in the 1995 range. Yep.
Okay. And you don't know how to increase your SEO on this page?
No, since it's just one page listing, but it's multiple sellers. It's called I spent like $1,400 in courses.
Yeah.
And they all agree that there is a buy box algorithm.
Okay.
So that's just what I'm going off of, and it tends to prefer fulfillment by Amazon over merchant fulfilled.
Okay.
So those 4 right there. If there was 3 in the past, it looks like it was actually 3 days. Actually, do you use Keepa?
No. What's that?
Oh man, I'm about to change your Amazon. It's a Chrome extension. I highly recommend it if you shop on Amazon. It'll show you price history and sales rank.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's called Keepa?
Yes, Keepa.
Okay.
And it shows you, at the bottom, it shows you review counts. It's basically like a stock market chart, sort of. And it shows you new offer counts over time. And the little blue diamonds are actual sales that are confirmed through Amazon.
Okay.
Pulling from the Amazon API.
And that's important because like what, I get more reliable people to send me stuff or what?
So the first thing I look at when I'm sourcing for a product is the Keepa chart. And I see from the end of July till August, this product itself had, it looks like 8 to 9 confirmed sales, and it doesn't track every sale, but you have 9 confirmed sales in 1 month.
Okay, so you're looking at this to try to determine the volume of a potential product like this if you want to offer it.
Right, like how many I would buy and expect to sell in 1 month. Yep.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. But you have to distribute that against the competition for other people who are who have this product, right?
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of people basically fight toward the bottom, like they drop it 1 cent and they keep dropping it 1 cent through a software called a repricer.
Yeah.
Which I use one, but I tend to set it to stay in the buy box and hold until, let's say, 2 weeks. If it doesn't go back up that 1 cent, then I'll lower. But I have a set, say I won't take no lower than, right now I would make 89% ROI and 36% margin. Let me see if I can get that calculation real quick. Okay. So the price $19.95 minus the referral fee $1.60, fulfillment fee $3.19, and 30-day storage in their warehouse is 2 cents, and the buy cost is $7.99. I net $7.15.
Okay.
And that's an 89% ROI, 36% margin.
Okay. Got it. All right. So, do you have a specific link to if I wanted to buy your product directly, is there a way for me to do that by skipping this? Like, so basically I understand how the average customer is going to behave, right? They're going to go to the page because they want a Minecraft redstone torch. They're probably just going to click add to cart, right? And they're not even going to check other sellers. I would think that probably the vast majority of people that shop on Amazon don't check other sellers. And then just correct me if I'm wrong on any of this stuff. They add to cart. Then Amazon selects somehow from the list of sellers on Amazon, and then one of them might go to you. Is that all pretty accurate?
Correct. The buy box apparently tends to not choose the same person twice in a row. So if there's 4, if including me, it'd be 5. So it would cycle through those 5 basically. That's why people race to the bottom. Yeah.
Okay. So now let's circumvent that process. Hang on. And let's say that I know about your store and I know about your business and I trust you more than anyone else selling this product. I want to buy from you directly. Is there a way for me to do that?
Yes, through my store link.
Okay. That's good. Okay, that's really good. So can you track the analytics of the people that come directly to your store and anything like bounce rate or like what they're looking at? Like, do you have any analytics on that? Or can you get them if you don't have it?
Let me see. I don't think so through Amazon. I do have. There is an advertising in Amazon, Seller Central. It's called.
What is that?
You can. It's basically you can create a campaign and run ads to your product to your store, kind of like Facebook in a way, just through Amazon. The only other way I guess would be doing it through maybe your blog, maybe, and using Google AdWords. That's the only other way I could see analytics because I don't see them. I get reports from Amazon, like return reports, fulfillment, account health, all that stuff, but I don't get actual analytics.
Would you be able to put a Google Analytics link in between? So for yes, you would be able to do this. So like let's say, as long as it's off platform, let's say that you wanted to market this on your Twitter. What you would do, right, is you would short a Google link, and then that link would point to your actual store, but you would be able to see the analytics going through. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to want to do that, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But I'm going to just right now can create custom link through other external platforms. Otherwise, people have to go directly to store. Is your store searchable on Amazon?
Yes, I can give you the link, but you can also search for it. Let me go ahead and give you the link.
Okay. How would I search for it if I...
just going up to the search bar.
No, but what? I don't know the store. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, Amazon.com. Just the search bar, and you type in... You would type in the name of my store.
Yeah, I don't...
Well, if you did...
I don't know the name of your store, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's JMG.
J&G?
Discounters.
Okay. N like Nancy?
M is in Mike.
Oh, can you link me?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Okay, cool.
It's a lot of random stuff, but
yeah, no, I totally understand why. Okay, good. So, how much customization can you do to this page?
None.
Ooh.
Yeah. Maybe if it was a Shopify store, and I could also create fulfillment orders myself through Amazon and have the Amazon ship it out to a customer. So that might be something that I was actually thinking of in the future, making a Shopify store and having these items listed on there. And if people buy through there, then I could ship from Amazon to them as well. And I could run ads to that, but it might just be better to do Amazon. I'm not sure.
Well, that's what we're here to talk about, right?
Right.
Okay. So if you made a Shopify store, you could host that on Amazon?
No, I would have to do just marketing through social medias.
Yeah, but you would sell on Amazon, right?
Yeah, I would go into, like, say I make a sale on Shopify, I would get their information. I would go to my Amazon Seller Central, go down to create fulfillment order, and I would select one of my items in stock and type in that customer's information and send it out. Eventually, I hope to have a system of outsourced employees to handle it all, and I would have a business system, and I wouldn't have to do this. But
Yep.
you know,
Okay. So you mentioned to me that you put a large initial investment into inventory, right?
right.
And how much do you spend on purely on marketing and advertising every month?
Right now, 0.
Okay.
And in my first month, I made $3K in sales and spent maybe 5.
Profit?
No, that's in total gross.
Okay, but you own the inventory, so that's not exactly genuine, right? Or genuine, because the inventory is an asset, correct? It's a sellable asset in the future.
Yes.
Okay, so you spent $5K on in the how long have you been operating?
Since March.
Okay, so the first month you spent $5K in inventory costs, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you made back 3, right?
Yes.
But you still had $2K worth of inventory that's still considered an asset.
Right, and that's so the next month I did the same amount, and I spent actually less. So I guess I sold the next month most of that. It's actually all gone from besides that first item you see there on your screen.
Are you sitting on a lot of inventory right now?
Just what you see there.
Okay.
There's actually inventory being shipped in. I do have a third-party prepper since I don't have the time to actually drive UPS anymore. So I did outsource that.
Okay. So when your initial store went up, how were customers finding your store or sorry, your products? They were only finding them through the Amazon search basically, and they were looking for products, and you would just get triggered from the buy box. That was basically 100% of your sales.
Exactly.
Okay. So all right. Have you made profit yet? Since April, May, June, July. So you've been in business about 5 months. Have you made profit yet?
I have, but what I do is I'm not taking anything from the business. That's why I have the full-time job still, and I'm working, crazy hours. Like tomorrow is 4 to 4. So
that is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I'm letting it just compound over time, and once it gets so much, then I'll start taking a little bit of profit, maybe for some marketing. But right now, I'm just letting it roll back into it. But I can take out some.
Okay, so you're investing. You're basically reinvesting everything you make on the store back into inventory.
Exactly, just to minimize the risk of the store flopping.
How would that happen? How would the store flop?
It would have to be on my part by trying to compete with the competition of lowering to the bottom and not making anything. There was one item actually that I did lose a lot on that was not coming back up. It dropped like $5, and that right there was a 60% loss.
Yeah,
and I had 12 of them, I think. So each item was a 60% loss. So I did take a huge hit there, and I decided from then on, I'm like, if I can't get it selling here, I'm going to ship it back to my house. I think it's free it was free before Prime Day for old inventory, but it doesn't cost much to ship it back to me, and I'm going to sell it on Facebook Marketplace.
Ooh, okay. That's really good. Okay.
So it'd have to be a pretty big hiccup on my part.
Okay, and that is dependent on your market research for the products, which it seems like you're pretty confident in. I don't think we need to talk about that much more. Okay, and then my next question would be, what is your objective?
Like what the outcome is for the overall.
Where do you want to be in this store in 6 months?
So my goal is to get to, right now for August, is basically 5K in sales. That's for August right now. And actually, I'm not doing so well this month. Like, sales slowed down a lot after Prime Day.
Okay.
Which is fine. I'm hovering around 2K. It actually went down a lot.
Yeah.
I guess everybody done it on Prime Day. But anyway, uh, in 6 months, I hope I will be somewhere around the 15K a month, maybe. I
Okay.
think that's possible if I'm doing pretty well right now. I want to try to make it possible anyway. That's why I'm working like a madman. But
Okay, so 15K a month, and then how much of that is gonna be how much is that? Is that pure profit, or is that with inventory cost?
that's gross. That's
Okay.
inventory costs. That's taking out no profit. Just get to 15K a month, and then look at the numbers, see how much profit I can take, and how much I can reinvest. And once it gets over my monthly expenses, obviously I would do it full time. Yeah.
Okay, so to understand 15K total coming in, do you have any idea of how much you need to spend on inventory to get to that to get that number? So what the net profit would be? Could you guess?
I could probably guess. Well, if I spent, let's see, it's over 2 months, 5K. I did about 6K. So, well, at the current available inventory, with like right now, I have a lot that's being dispersed among the fulfillment centers around America. So it's not available for sale. But right now, what's available for sale is around 2K. And my total stock right now that is sitting in warehouses waiting for sale is my cost is 1K. Well, about actually 12K. And that's everything else is basically being distributed among all the fulfillment centers. There's basically a lag time between once you ship it in, once they get it, count it, and then they ship it to all the other fulfillment centers.
Yeah.
So that is a 60% ROI on that total, what I have setting waiting right now.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm still what I'm still saying is like, can you take a guess? Like 15 months gross. Like what's your actual net profit off of that?
Probably, I would probably have to spend 8.
Okay, so
Probably.
okay, so
What I
you're looking
usually
at like
search,
profit
what I
around
usually,
7K, you'd say?
yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Okay. That's pretty good. All right. And you would then reinvest most of that 7K to then again grow your inventory.
Right.
Okay. Is there a possible scenario where you are holding on to too much, or you personally are holding on to too many products and can't really like is there a limit without getting help at some point where, like, let's say that you have 100 products at this point? Is there a time barrier to, like, you need to like decide how much inventory you're ordering for every single one of those products, right? You need to sort of figure out like how well each one of those is selling, move certain products that aren't doing as well to Facebook Marketplace. Do you anticipate that there is a sort of maximum where you're going to need help if you keep reinvesting your inventory costs?
So the big problem with Amazon and using their warehouses is after 3 months of an item sitting, which is why I need to take out items, even if they have a price cut, even if they don't. I still need to, unless they have a well over 100% ROI, and I can take the hit. They charge long-term storage fees, which that item that I showed you was a 2 cent 30-day storage fee, which isn't nothing, but
Yeah.
after 3 months, it's going to jack up to maybe $8 a month.
Holy shit. Okay.
So that there goes all the profit. That's the main issue, and that's why I have to find products that I see actually sell using that graph and other softwares. So that's a huge issue that sellers have.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so if you don't, so you basically can't hold on to products more than 3 months, because that'll cut into your ROI so bad that it's not worth doing.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, and then so that's why your plan is that you return it and then it goes to Facebook before that time.
Right.
So my question now is one of time, which is that at what point does this process at what point in gross income does this process become unsustainable for you, based on your literally based on your human time, right? Like literally based on how much time you have.
Like how many hours it takes me to.
Yes, because here's what I'm seeing happening, right? Like so every month you're making more, which is good, and then you're investing that money back into inventory, which is also good. But that in theory should take more time to do that market research to like figure out all that inventory and everything. So my question is, in 6 months, can you run this business doing $15K a month, or do you need someone else? And that's a really important. Do you see like it's really important to think about?
In order to do that, I would have to cut back on hours. Like right now, it's anywhere between 60 to 70 hours a week plus what I do for Amazon. So it's like, easily around 100.
Yeah.
And that actually takes a hit on mine and my wife's time as well.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
She's not a fan, but I mean, I'll probably have to start outsourcing at some point, because right now it feels like it's starting to hit that, like I'm starting to get really, really exhausted,
Okay.
I will probably have to start outsourcing. If I hadn't have already outsourced the prepping and the shipping to Amazon, there would be no way.
Well, yeah. I don't really think any kind of business selling products is realistic in this day and age when you're doing your own fulfillment. That's like, it's just so ridiculous. And there's no real reason to do it, because like the profit margins on Amazon are like so good. Yeah, I totally get that. And then the other thing too is that like, even if you want to do your own fulfillment, right, you can still set up your own store and then set up an Amazon store, and you basically get double the SEO. There's literally no reason not to have an Amazon store, right? So like if I wanted to sell t-shirts on and I made like Mylixia's-t-shirts.com, I could have a drop shipper through that. And every time someone ordered a t-shirt through there, I would, and CLG in fact did this, right? So like the way I set that up was I had a fulfillment center, MetaThreads, that would do sales. Basically, if you went to the CLG store, they would create a jersey or create whatever, drop ship it over to that person, and that would be an order. But we also had products, and still do have products on Amazon. I think CLG, hopefully they're not dummies and didn't do that. They probably did not do it. But if you want like a CLG jersey on Amazon, oh god, yep, never mind, they're dummies. Okay, well, when I was running the company, this was also on Amazon, so we would ship a certain amount of our inventory to Amazon, and then we would sell there as well, right? Because you can't make up for all the SEO that you're missing on Amazon. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
and the guaranteed customer traffic.
Yeah. Yeah, because of the search bar and everything like that, right? That's what I meant by like the SEO, right? So like, it's advantageous a lot of the time, I think, to run a store in both places. And now we're gonna start to get into some of the stuff. So let's start exploring some of the things that, since I've asked a lot of questions, right? I think I can start making some conclusions. It seems to me, number one, that before you hit 15K, you're gonna need some help.
Definitely.
Okay. So with 7K in profit margin, that's an okay thing. Now I think secondly, we're just going to go over big macro stuff right now. So and an employee before 15K is big macro. So and this doesn't need to be like some dude that's like hard on the paint 50 hours a week. I don't think so. I think it's like kind of like some kind of like part-time training. And then the second thing I would say is, and I'm going to explain this a little bit more, but having your own storefront, well, just write your own storefront, seems like an inevitable to me, and seems like it's very smart. Mm-hmm. And here's why. Right now, the big weakness of this business model is that you can't really control for like you can only be like a half business. And here's what I mean, right? Like you don't really control your marketing.
right?
Yeah, you don't control
Yeah,
your
yeah.
traffic. That's a good way to put it. Because you're sort of at the behest. So a really good thing that happened to you, right, was, hey, if everything goes right, I should make 5K this month in sales, and now you're at 2, and that happened because of Prime Day. That is a blessing in disguise because it shows you something that is a weakness in your business model, right? Which is like, oh shit, if something happens on Amazon, I can get fucked, right? Like your business model is at the behest of Amazon behavior.
Right.
Yeah. So a lot of that, not all of it, gets fixed by your own storefront. But one of the big reasons why I'm interested in having your own storefront is because of the third point, which is I think the hugest problem you have right now is that you're not reinvesting some of your money into marketing.
Like social media, influencers, Facebook.
So when I say marketing, I really think I mean two things, and there's a lot of ways to market. And so this is by no means an exhaustive list, but my interest is what I'm giving you specifically here in these places you should market is because of my understanding of your current schedule, which as far as I can tell is batshit. You're working full time, and you're doing, and you have a wife, you have kids.
No.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so you're working full time, and then you're coming home and you're working on Amazon, which is also quickly becoming a full time business. So you
basically 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah, so you are in like the Gary V hustle right now.
I don't know how he does it, to be honest.
He's like a robot or something. That dude is legit. The other thing too is like I'd say he knows how to take a lot of his time off. So I would say that like while Gary is on when he's on, he's also completely off when he's off, and I think it's a really important thing. Is like on Sundays, like, and this I did this at CLG too. I would go super hard, and Dignitas. Like, I'd go super hard when I was on for maybe 14, 15, 16 hours a day. When I'm off, like, no one talk to me. Like, I don't exist. I, like, leave the campus. I leave everything. Like, I leave my cell phone. There were a lot of days where I had this, like, tea place in Arcadia that they would serve, like, traditional old-fashioned, like, tea ceremonies. And I'd bring a book, and I would sit there for, like, 6 hours without a phone. It was utterly impossible to find me because nobody there spoke English and like wouldn't know. Like if my house was on fire, if like Double Lift like shot Aframu, like I wouldn't know. I'd have no idea. Like it's like this is what we're kind of diverging a little bit into like life practices, but I think this is like really good advice for where you're at right now, which is like you have to know when you're working this hard when to absolutely turn off, and you should not even look at like your sales. Don't even look at Amazon. Don't even look at a computer if you can. Like take your wife to like a cave and be there, right?
Yeah.
It's really important.
Yeah.
Because like what happens to us is like you get into this mindset of like sort of. Have you heard me talk about gray zones?
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
So like so I have basically a gray zone is like this place where I feel like almost all of us live these days, which is like we are working, but we're not really working because like Twitter's on or like YouTube's on or whatever. So like all this stuff is like happening, but we're not really focused on the thing that we should be doing. And I call this the gray zone, where it's like you're 25% in, or you're 50% in, but you're not all in, right? I really firmly believe that life should be, as far as work is concerned, it should be focused on the extreme. So you should either be working and you should be all in on that shit, or you should not be and you should not at all be on it, right? And the reason is because if your mind thinks that you're working, then regardless of your actual engagement in that, your stress is the same.
Does that make like a compounded Exhaustion.
Yeah, and so the use case I have of this is at CLG when we started to really grow. I had like 35 or 40 like actual staff, not including players, that were on site, and they were or they were around like we had the way we did it was we had like 5 or 6 houses, and we had people staying in this. This is completely against so many codes, but like California law and all this stuff. But this is how we did it. And so we had people that were working and living at the same time. And the biggest problem that we that I came up against, just like overall in the company, was that one of two things: either staff couldn't turn off, which was mostly the problem, or sometimes like staff just didn't turn on. So we had a coach that came in for CS:GO, and this dude just literally sat and played WoW for a month. And I was like, dude, are you gonna coach? Like,
Yeah.
we're paying you, this is like, and he's like, yeah, and I was like, all right, get the fuck out of here. Like, I had to like this guy was gone, right? There is the main problem we had though, and the one that I like am kind of like flagging you over to be aware of in your own life is we would have a person. I'm trying to not bring up specific people, which is why I'm a little bit slow on this. We had one person who just really couldn't shut off and was staying up really late at night. And I eventually had to like work with every individual to just give them a total off day and make them like not work, and then like make the rest of the company like not contact that person. And we live in like it used to be that like when you went to work, you would just be there till the time that you were off. And it's like not like that, especially in tech now. It's like you get called, you get like bothered at home. You're on Discord, so people are chatting you up all the time. Like, this sucks. This is really bad because that stress will compound a huge amount, and you'll start to get it'll creep up on you too, and you'll start to feel really stressed. And you're kind of like some of the things you were saying before, which is like when you were kind of like balancing both of them, and you're doing a lot, but this is a factor in it as well.
Right. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Well, I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. Yeah, I just know that it's getting it's like I need that, I need somebody to tell me to all right, you're good, take Sunday off, like boom, go,
Yeah, but you're an entrepreneur, so you have to tell yourself that. Yeah. And then you have to like so I'm reading a book right now called 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. And
I've actually I've got to the 11th.
Oh, okay. So are you reading it?
While I work. Yeah. I listened to the audio book. Yeah.
I'm really so as much as a lot of my crossover community with Steven hates this guy. I
really?
Very much they do.
I love him.
I know. Yeah, he's great. Like a lot of people sneak out of the woodwork and they're like, like whenever this guy comes up. But and he does say some really controversial stuff. But I think the lesson that I have from that book is that human beings get along life a lot better if they have a defined rule set than if they don't. And Jordan uses the metaphor of chaos versus order, right, to describe this. Where chaos is like this just sort of shit show that you kind of descend into. And then before you know it, you really have no structure or routine to your life. And as a result, your life is completely shit. I mean, it's just like everything seems to break down. Your relationships, your finances. You
lose your wife.
You
lose your job.
You lose everything. And this is really because the entirety of our mind and our lives are built on structure. And so without structure, you don't have anything. So you have to assign for yourself this time that and I'll give you another simple like analogy, right? So like really recently, Kat and I were talking and realized that we just needed a night where we shut off and spent time together. It would just be better for the relationship if we did that, right? So we said, okay, from now on, like when I get off stream on Thursdays, we'll just have a night where we either play games together or we just do something that she wants to do, or we watch a movie or whatever. But we'll find a way to like spend time with each other, because that's going to enrich the relationship, right? And so like setting that rule is super important. And if you're in the mode right now where you're not like taking like a straight like 6 to 8 hour block where you're completely doing nothing but stuff that you enjoy, it will really weigh on you, and you will not be able to do this.
Yeah. It's I've been doing it since March. It's starting. I mean, it really I think it was right after Prime Day. I did not want to find more products. I was just, it was really starting. I was like, oh, got to look up more products. Okay, here's a backpack. I'm going to make $20 off this. It's getting there. I need to start getting that straightened out and get an actual schedule, I think, built up.
And you can use like resources like your wife to hold you accountable to those things. Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, depending on, I don't want to give her like too much power over that, so I'm like a little bit careful. But like I'll do stuff like, hey, can you wake me up at like, if I'm still in bed at like 10. So my big demon, I think you've probably heard about this on stream, is like my sleep schedule.
Right.
No matter how good I am at nutrition or fitness or anything else that I do, I just cannot seem to get this. I woke up at 12 today. It's insane. I don't know what fuck. I've been so frustrated, because I'm a person who's read so many books and I've done so much, and and I just can't. So I tell Kat, I'm like, hey, if it's 10:30 and I'm still in bed, like definitely, jump on my face or give me the people's elbow or whatever. And that's
right.
Yeah.
I actually have to wake up my wife. She has a problem with getting up early, but from where I work, like all the time, it's like, and my shift, a really bad thing about my full-time job, and the reason why I think that this is why I'm so adamant upon getting Amazon up there as quickly as possible, is because my job, every 3 months I rotate shifts. So I go, this month I'm on first shift. Yeah. On October I go to second shift. It's just, and then 3 months later I go to third shift. It's just, and the problem is it's the highest paying a job around here after this, I would have to travel more than an hour and 20 minutes to get to any place close to their pay. Like in this area in Kentucky, like, the eastern part of Kentucky, there's not many jobs after the coal industry basically got wiped. So it's really hard to find a good paying job.
Well, you already have to commute a lot. You were telling me that you have an hour commute home, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's 8-hour days are 10-hour days, 12-hour days are 14-hour days. So then I get home, do this for the rest of the day till I fall asleep, do it again with like maybe 4 to 5 hours sleep. Like tonight, I'm going to get maybe 5 hours, maybe.
Yeah, that's insane. This is unsustainable for sure. And identifying that early is really important, because you don't want to identify it at the point of breakdown.
Right.
That is when, trust me, like you want to be super aware of like what's coming and what you're doing. And I think like I'm building a good model in my head of like how we can do this, but like just keep in your mind, like if I'm moving at this pace for the next 6 months, I'm not. Something's gonna happen.
I'm going to die, basically.
Yeah, like what'll probably happen is like your body will start to slow you down. So like it's watching people go this fast, particularly because I come from like the startup world. A lot of people get physically sick. That's a big one. Not like cancer or something, but they just start getting the flu a lot. Like their body basically forces them to slow down. Because we just weren't built to do this. Like we lived in tribes and like gathered food and like chased after animals and then like chilled out, like we human beings weren't meant to like, to use their minds and to go at this velocity. So as long as you keep that in mind, and I think we're going to set up in this call a couple of things, that'll prevent that from happening.
Okay. I did have
one
quick, like kind of unrelated, but sort of not. So I've started going to the gym again, like after 3 years of constant grind and work.
Yeah.
I've not lost all of my muscle, but there's some left. But it's like on my way home, like it's 2 minutes away from my job. So like I just stop by, get a quick 45-minute in, go home. That's an hour. It's a shorter day doing Amazon. You think those days will be a day to not source and focus on, my overall health? Like I'm taking omega-3s, everything you recommend. I still have your own nutritional videos that I watch from time to time just to make sure I'm doing things right. Also, let's see what else. Drink a ton of water. Would those days be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe no sourcing, but then on the weekend, like on Saturday, go hard? Would that be? What do you think about that?
Do you have days off of your actual job?
Not Monday through Friday. Most of the time, we have all the holidays. I had vacation days, but we actually took that vacation. I actually did not disconnect. That was because I just started. We went in May and I started in March. So I was like really, like while she was asleep, I would wake up at 6 a.m. on the beachfront, looking out the balcony on my laptop, looking for products. So it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And she'd wake up and then we go down to the beach. I would be listening to an audiobook or something. And then I would turn it off and kind of chill. But then once she'd go to sleep, I start sourcing it. It's like I was obsessed or something. So
yeah. So to be clear, like, don't criticize yourself too much for that kind of behavior, because that is what it takes to be successful. Like, finding those little windows of time in between, like periods where you have an opportunity is like the key. Like that's stuff you should be doing. This is why I would not recommend changing that. I would say that instead you would want to take a very big chunk out of like Saturday or Sunday, say like Sunday evening or Saturday evening, where you just turn off completely. But because on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because you're already working, turning off at night after that is not going to provide you the same benefit. Does that make sense? Whereas if you wake up and you have a block of time where you're just not going to work, that's going to provide a lot of like rest to you mentally, especially if you do things in that period of time that are enriching.
Right. So like meditation, taking a run down the road.
Go for walks, meditate, read a book, like just sit, like play a video game, like stuff that actually doesn't engage you in any sort of. So I'll just I guess I could just like go back and use like myself as an example. Like I think at CLG I was probably working pretty consistently 90-hour weeks, and like people have to understand like what that means. Like that there's 120 hours in a week. Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's like insane. So like when you're working that much, like a 40-hour work week is a lot. Like it really is. Like you're at work 8 hours a day for 5 days a week. That's like crazy. Like that's a ton of time. So 60 hours is bananas, and then anything above that is like pretty much like unsustainable. And the way that I survived was I did two things. One was I had hot yoga, right? That I've talked about that a lot, where I had a yoga practice that I did every morning that kind of stabilized me, and a jiu-jitsu practice I did 3 days a week. And then I usually took like, it was whatever day was slowest in esports. I can't remember now. It might have been Tuesday or Wednesday or something, but generally there wasn't a lot of competition going on. So I can't take weekends off in esports because Saturday and Sunday is one of the biggest competition days.
Right.
So I took like Tuesday or Wednesday off. And what I did was like, in Arcadia, there was an arboretum. It's a tree place, a place with trees. Arboretum, I don't know, a place where there's a lot of trees. And I would go there, I would walk around, I would meditate, I would read a book, like a physical hard copy book. I would go sip tea. I might talk to a unrelated, like that would be the time where I did phone calls with people that I just like didn't work with at all. I would just like family,
right.
Everything possible. And I don't think during that time. Oh, and also, this is less important for you right now, but it will be important later. I had to coach everyone else in my life, right? on my standards and expectations for like,
Mm-hmm.
do not contact me on Tuesday. If you do, I will kill you in a video game, right? Like I will
Yeah.
like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so setting those expectations for other people was more important than setting the expectations for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I would find everything to do where I just didn't think about work, and because like I think I get the most personally out of like enriching activities. It sounds like you do as well. Finding ways that you can just like rest and chill and like eat good food, be around good people that you love, and it is so critical to like being a human being, and not putting work on top of that at all.
Right.
And
Okay.
I wouldn't do that after your casual work day, because you're just gonna have too much on your mind. You're gonna be like you're gonna still be going, and you should go when you go, but like allowing yourself when I think when you say, okay, well, Saturday I have no obligation to my full-time job, and by the way, it sounds like to me that when I see you on the stream 3 to 5 months from now, you're not going to be working this job. It seems to me that your Amazon business is going to succeed. Like I can tell you've got the
yeah, I'm basically going to make it succeed.
Yeah, it's going to be you. Like you've already got the you did so much, and just like your initial introduction when investing $1,400 in courses, like I cannot tell you how few people not only will never do that, but will also be like, that's stupid to pay money to learn. And it's like isn't there YouTube and stuff? And it's like, dude.
Yeah, I just bought a accounting course as well, like this past weekend.
It's so good.
I got tired of, I was like, seeing your content and like, just do it. Seeing Gary Vee's content, seeing, Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
Like they're basically all watch on YouTube, you guys. I kind of put you in that same bubble.
That's a huge honor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't think I deserve it, but yeah, I appreciate it.
I mean, it's like, man, what am I doing? I'm just sitting here working a full time. I'm in the rat race, Robert Kiyosaki, all those guys.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in the rat race. I need to get out. So that's when I took that step, and I was like, you know what, I'm doing it. Did it. Started.
Yeah, and it's such a cool opportunity to talk to you at this point, because you haven't quite made it out, but you're on your way, which is like a really interesting. It's probably the most interesting period of time, and this will be like the day that you like quit your full-time job, and it's coming. This will be the day that you will remember for the rest of your life, right? Like,
oh, yeah,
I very vividly remember the last day I worked for anybody else.
Oh man,
and
I can only imagine.
It is an awesome feeling, right? Like where, and then further, if you read Peterson, right? Our brains actually, like are coordinated to derive more happiness based on our level of societal freedom, right? So like we will become happier, we will produce more serotonin based on the fact that like we know we have a financial backing, we know we're going to be okay, we know we choose our own results, we know we're our own boss, we're our own leaders. All this stuff makes it like a huge difference to our internal psychology.
Yeah,
I am super excited that I get to like be here at this stage of your journey. It's very cool. It's also really good that you're being patient too, and that like you're actually taking the time to do this. Did I lose you? Because my stream died.
Lagged.
Hang on one sec.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, we good. Sorry about that. Okay.
No problem. The crazy thing is too that I've realized, and I'm trying to get more and more self-aware of myself. I'm just 22. I got another, like Gary says all the time, you got another 60 years.
Holy
right?
shit. Yeah.
So it's like,
that's insane.
I'm just 22. So even if it did fail some way, which I'm not going to let it, I mean, I've got years,
Yeah, so long. Like, dude, you like the amount of time you have is so insane. You don't realize it till later. Like I literally was nowhere near that at 22. Like 22 to 28, all I did was play 16 hours of video games a day.
See, I was doing that, and then like you won't give yourself credit for it, but then I found you going down the League of Legends streams, and like you started talking, some personal development stuff, and I was like, whoa,
It's because I have so much suffering from spending all those years not doing shit that like it's like I have like an impossible drive that like every single second I need to be. I just don't want like Gary says a lot of the time, like I do not want to be 75 and be like, that's it, my time's up, I can't go back, I don't have the energy. It's like that's just like the worst Pepe hands, dude. Like I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Like I need to look back on my life and say I gave it everything. I did everything I could.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
And another big part is, my dad, he's right now, he's in his 50s working 84 hours a week. And he living paycheck to paycheck. He's filed bankruptcy 3 times. That's another big motivation too.
Absolutely.
I got told that, and I don't think he meant harm. He just didn't have, like, he's seen his struggle, and like, there's not many jobs around here. So he's like, you'll probably end up working, 2 or 3 jobs like me in grocery stores. And I was like, no, I won't. So that was like, and I was, 9-year-old. So I think that's where the entrepreneur seed might've been started planting. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, man. You got the fire for sure. I mean, like I know it when I see it. I was born into a family that was, that made it really easy for me. And like all of the fire that I got, I had to cultivate from like regret. So like when you have that edge of like getting told you can't do something at an early age,
I really don't like being told I can't do something. It's like
that motivation will carry you really hard. That's like there's so many successful people that have that backing. Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Let's talk about some objective stuff to do with this situation. So the step-by-step process that I would probably do is, starting from number 1, is I would say you would want to determine the gross point, like the gross profit or the gross revenue point where you need help. Okay. And this roughly might be about between 11 and 15K. Then you want to organize your own tasks by time and difficulty. Okay.
Okay.
So how much time does it take for me to do market research, and how hard is it? And then how much, and then what do I think are skills that I possess that are difficult to outsource. Okay. And then the flip side of that question, what do I think, and you do a little bit of an 80-20 analysis on this, which is like, what is what are 80%, what are the 20% of activities that are taking 80% of my time? And I'm also going to send you something real quick, which is called an 80-20 analysis. And this is something that I run pretty much every other Friday. I'm going to send you the template for this. So I'll pull it up right now so you can see it on screen.
You did a video on this, right?
I did, yes. But this is This is something I really recommend. Yeah. Particularly for where you're at, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So this is basically like, this is my own. So some of these are my own personal ones, and these are some of the ones that I developed from CLG. So I'll copy and paste this to you. It's there. Okay. And the one that you want to focus on is, what are the 20% of activities that are taking 80% of my time? And those are the ones that you outsource. Okay. So what you're looking for is the chasm between the difficulty of the task, which you can't outsource, or the unique points that of your skill set that would be difficult to outsource or would cause harm to your business if you outsource them. And then compare those to the tasks that are taking the most amount of time and are easy. You should come up with a list. That is the job description for your employee. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
Any questions on that, or we move on?
I think I'm good. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so then the second one is your own storefront. So you would know better than me how to do this. So like my literal advice is like put one up, and and your whatever your yeah, I don't really have much to add because the reason why you do that is going to be the third reason. Okay, and that's marketing. So when we go into marketing, I think you should focus on two verticals. The first one is Facebook advertising, and the second one is small time Instagram influencers. The reason I want with a caveat here of just Instagram advertising, and so here is my thinking on this. These are the easiest things to automate given your crazy time schedule. When I'm thinking about the ratio, I'm thinking 80% Facebook and probably 20% Instagram.
Okay.
But because you're selling products, I want you to at least have a presence on Instagram because Instagram is extremely interesting for products. It's highly visual. Products tend to convert there very well, especially when I say small influencers, I'm thinking 5,000 to 50,000 followers. So like so don't go after people with like 100K plus. They just think they're too big and they're going to charge you a bunch of money and stuff. But like you've already mentioned that you have sent products to people and that this is a fairly easy process for you. So this is something that you'll want to consider. What I would do is I would start searching hashtags for the markets that you're in and influencers that might be relevant to those markets in Instagram. I would choose, let's say, 10 to 15 initial influencers to go off of, and I would send them product to point to your new storefront. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So then in Facebook advertising, you would build a targeted campaign. And do you know much about pay-per-click or like targeting keywords or anything like that?
Yeah, I ran a few. I actually tried the Spotify or not Spotify, Shopify storefront. I tried that with drop shipping. I did run a few Facebook advertisements, which I'll probably take another course, a better course besides freaking, Alex Becker. But
yeah.
But yeah, I'll look more into that unless you have information.
I do, but I don't have it. Like, I can't think of because I spent like so much money on this. What my initial like research into PPC and SEO cost me like $15K. This was back when I was like 16, 18. I spent about that much on it. I basically took all the profits from my ebook business and I reinvested them into courses. And that is why I like literally that like got me all the work that I have these days. Like all the marketing stuff, dude. Like I've probably talked about this on stream before, but like if you want to have any skill, if you want to learn any skill, marketing, that's it. Like I can't, it's like up there with like speaking English. It's like so high. Oh my God. So I can give you those resources a bit later and I can put them in the show notes. But yeah, Facebook advertising, you want to build a targeted campaign. That means actually like you'd want to build advertisements and you want to like build an actual like visual advertisements, maybe a video, stuff like that. You said you have a YouTube? Yeah. So you already know how to do content and stuff. I know you stream too. So like you'll be able to handle this. And then if you need any like specific help with like how you're doing your campaign and everything, I can definitely like impact that too.
Okay.
So with the 80% focus on Facebook, 20% focus on Instagram, I suspect that your Instagram is the focus on Instagram is going to surprise you. And I think it will do really well, like stupid well.
I'm actually trying to grow my personal Instagram because I seen you were, and I was using what you and Seven talked about last Friday.
Yeah.
And I tried it out on like a couple of just, me cooking ribs and me and my wife cooking ribs and what else? Today, like I posted about getting ready for our chat on your Twitch and linked your Twitch and hashtagged and all that good stuff. And it's actually crazy. I ran like, little bitty ads to it. it's pretty cool.
It's stupid. It's like I'm not even posting new content right now on my Instagram, but I'm still pushing ads, and like the amount of attention it's getting is just like insane. Yeah, like the amount of follows, like everything coming in. So yeah, like I actually don't think in this case building your personal building your own personal Instagram is a long-term goal, right?
Long-term informational, like if I was to teach selling on Amazon long-term or something like that.
Yeah, you could like transition into something like that, or you could literally have like a product Amazon where like or both, right? Or like a product Instagram where you're one of them is like your personal brand, then one of them is your store.
Right.
And your store is just featuring products with good hashtags.
Okay.
And I think like building a separate, actually, and this is something that just came up, but in this kind of realm of marketing, building a separate Instagram for your products, then once you have your storefront, then driving ads towards that Instagram is a super good idea.
Ooh. Getting some golden nuggets.
Yeah, that's like that. I think would be really effective. And like when I say marketing, I want to be really clear that you're spending money. Okay, so like you need to set a marketing budget, like $100, $200 a month, whatever. Your money goes. I mean, I know you've probably listened to Gary Vee pound this into everybody's face, but it is so true. Your money on Facebook and Instagram goes so far these days. Like if the only benefit of setting your own storefront was that you could drive Facebook and Instagram ads towards it, it would be worth doing. That's how powerful it is.
It's like so cheap. Like,
yeah,
the ad I ran right before this, like at 5 today, it was like I used 36 cents and got like 500 impressions.
Yeah. It's like
picture. I was like, what?
I'm spending like maybe like $170 a month or so on it. And like it's like my Instagram went from like what, like 200 followers to like over 14K, and it's been like 2 months.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, and like I'm also playing the game really hard. I'm using hashtags. I'm like engaging with people. I'm like actually following and commenting on other people. I'm doing a lot of stuff. But like the point is like, yeah, like $150 is not like that much of a marketing expense when I'm building like a serious stream and I'm trying to really build a brand, right? Like that's not a big expense. There are Coca-Cola and shit are spending like billions of dollars on advertising like every. So this is a very small amount. The amount of and here's the crazy thing, dude. All of this is 10x for products, because I'm selling myself, right? I'm selling entertainment, like you come or information or whatever you get, whatever the fuck you guys sit here for. I don't know, like whatever that is, your right? Attention. Yeah,
I get it.
But when you're selling a product, like that's what those ad campaigns are made for.
Oh.
So like when you get, and like what's cool about this is it's, I think your market research ability that you're doing on Amazon when you're trying to find good products will carry over to how you find good advertisements, because like when you market a product on Instagram and then you look at it, you'll be like, oh, that keyword didn't work too well. I'll try like 3 different ones, or I'll try this different target audience or this different demographic, or I'll start advertising here in this part of the United States instead of this part. And then you'll notice completely different, like your conversions will completely change.
Wow.
and like overnight you'll be like, oh, what? I'm literally spending $50 a month on Instagram. Like I could not get my people at CLG to spend enough money on Facebook ads. I literally was like yelling at my social media team. Really? I'm like, yeah, like I was like, throw money at this. And they're like, we're spending $4,000 a month. And I'm like, how much are we making? Oh, we're making like fucking 50K. Like dudes, take that money, spend. They were afraid to do it. They were like, I'll lose and then you'll fire me. I'm like, no. Like
it's like, I'm telling you to do this.
Yeah, like I'm like telling you, like spend all my money. If George and I are out on the street, like, and I know how to dance, so I'll be fine. Like I'll make $100K a year, fucking on the sidewalk of San Francisco doing a jig for people. It'll be fine. Like, yeah, I knew that wasn't gonna happen though, because Facebook and Instagram are so powerful. It's like you have to see it. You have to see it to believe it. The reason why Gary Vee gets, I think, so pissed off is because he realizes that like any person could go to a thrift shop, could pick up items, could run a $5 Facebook ad campaign, $10, and then sell them for more and ship it. And they would make $400 to $500 a month on the side doing this, which is not insignificant for a guy that makes like $2K.
Oh yeah, it's like how can you be so blind? I would say is what he thinks. Like just do it.
Well, because he knows that this is a limited time offer. that's the thing. No, it's not going to be like this forever. As soon as the big brands figure this shit out, it's over. It's like,
Coke and Pepsi. Whew.
Yeah, I used to go to so many LA Death Star meetings where I had like 30 people sitting in a boardroom, and they were telling me why Instagram and Facebook and everything is stupid, and I should buy billboard ads. And I'm like, wow. You're stupid. I'm like, can you tell me how many people are looking at your billboard ad in a stadium and converting? Do you have any idea?
They're still advocating billboards?
Big brands are, yeah. All the LA advertising firms and everything are still doing that stuff. Billboards, TV commercials. They insist that Nielsen has direct stats that'll tell you exactly how much the grandma watching TV is converting on an ad. They're idiots. Like, they have no idea what they're fucking talking about. Whereas, like, with Facebook, I'll do a targeted... Facebook, okay, if I want to sell a jersey at CLG to someone, and okay, I know everything about you. If you've looked at CLG products before, I fucking know it. If you've bought anything in esports before, I know it. If you are an 18 to 25-year-old male where you're living, if you've been to the LCS, if you have expressed interest in CLG, if you've posted on our Reddit, whatever that stuff is, I know all of it based on your keywords and your search history in Facebook. Facebook knows everything about you. It's listening on your phone. It's listening everywhere. It knows everything. Zuckerberg knows everything. And so all I need to do is target. It's free money. All I need to do is spend $200 or $100 or $10. Advertise to that target audience. Hey, do you like CLG stuff? Oh, wait, yeah, I do like CLG stuff. Funny you should mention that. Oh, you should buy this shit then. Because, like, I'm selling this thing that you already said that you want. Oh, okay. And then, like, yeah, I have infinite profit. And everybody can do this.
Yeah, it's like if you own a CLG phone case, I know that, and I will target you.
Yeah.
It's like 500, but
Yeah, I know when you bought it. I know, and not only that, but I'll also throw you on an email list, right? And I'll target. And this is what we did when I came to CLG. We built separate mailing lists for people that would have bought products before. And then 6 months into like a new sale, it's like, okay, we're gonna do like an MSI sale. And on MSI, we did record revenue. When I did this campaign, I sent a mail to every single person that had bought a product before and said, hey, for just you guys, we're doing black jerseys that we're going to release 24 hours before, and then we're going to release them again, and then we're never going to do it again. And then here we go. And like it was just, it killed it. MetaThreads was like, what happened? Like, we sold hundreds and hundreds of jerseys a day. Like just so many.
Wow. God.
Yeah.
I'll definitely set up a Shopify store, like really soon.
Yeah.
Like I might take a day out of the week just to after work. Well, actually, I'm off on the 21st, so that would be a really good day, actually.
Yeah.
That's next week.
It shouldn't take long. It doesn't need to be much. You just need to be able to drive traffic to it, and you need to be able to, and this is the second part, and like make sure you don't forget this. You need to be able to understand the analytics of what the traffic is. So you should create Google short links for everything, Bitly links if you can't, whatever. But you have to be able to understand how are they getting to the page? Where are they coming from? Where are they leaving? How are they bouncing? And what are they clicking on and what are they buying? You have to understand all that. And Shopify has a lot of innate SEO tools that can do this. If not, could do the process for you entirely. Because I think we used Shopify and the analytics were incredible, if I remember correctly. You could like download CSVs of exactly what people were doing, heat maps and stuff.
Okay, so use Google short links or Bitly links for analytics, right? To see where it's coming from. Everything that I post
for external links, and then if you have no better option, and then Shopify itself, if you're going to set up a Shopify store, should have really impressive analytics. I'm now remembering, like, I have to I have like terrible short-term memory, so I have to that's why building a separate Instagram for your products is like one of the best pieces of advice that came out of this talk. But it just like came to me because I was like, oh yeah, that's like the thing that you should absolutely do, right? Like, not immediately, but in like maybe immediately, but like in like pretty soon. Yeah. Yeah. So Shopify should have unbelievable analytics for this. We used to download CSV files of just like crazy data. We would know everything we wanted to know. And the main thing you're looking at is like, where are these people coming from? And like, as far as like, where are they clicking and where are they, and like what's working and what's not, you know?
Yeah. I've been in talks with a sort of a big person in the Amazon selling space. I don't know if you've heard of her, Joy Packard. She's known as the mompreneur. She has like 9 kids and does this full time.
Okay.
She's big on outsourcing. I know this is kind of off topic, but well, sort of. She said that you can find a really good individual outsourced for like $200 to $300 a month to basically do all the sourcing, and already have the prep, which is maybe $100. She said that, you know, it's not going to cost you a lot, and if you don't trust them with purchasing, you know, like using your card information, which I would think that would be the one thing that I would be not ready to let go of, you know, until they work for me for like maybe, you know, a year or something like that, like 6-7 months a year.
Yeah.
That I can just do the purchasing, and that would really, you know, not just them sourcing, I could also source like maybe a day out of the week, you know, just give me more time. I'm looking at this 80-20 principle I use talking there.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. This is number one, right? So like, this is like determining your help and everything. Using her as a resource, and I would believe her if she says that, because she has the experience. I was, when I did my own businesses, I would focus a lot on actual outsourcing. So I used a lot of people in India, a firm called Bridgewater, that I would usually get work done for like anywhere between like $5 to $8 an hour. And I can't tell you the number of times that I was surprised that I also had American employees, and almost every single time they were outworked and outsmarted by people in India every time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. You probably don't even need that. You might want to have like even a local person, but yeah, I think that range for expenses is really realistic. And also, you can control people and how much they spend by limits on cards. So you can issue a separate card for your business, and then you can limit that to like, let's say $400 a day in purchasing, so someone can't like go crazy and like spend like. But you're gonna find like one thing I'd advise is like this is a very dangerous piece of advice. You have to kind of like take this with a grain of salt, but it's just been my policy. I trust people a lot, and I give a lot of leeway to people. I don't try to micro at all, and I've never ever been burnt for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Most people I think are inherently good. I would set up controls if you're going to be doing something very remote. If you're working in like the Philippines or India or something, then you need really good controls for sure, because that's like a separate deal. But if this is like an American kid who's trying to get by, wants to help you out, seems like he's got a good spirit about him, yeah, I would be fine with it. I would probably give that guy way too much power, or girl.
Yeah, I have a best friend that he's what I was when I first started trying. You know, I was like, I want to make $1 million a year. You know, just the money factor. I wasn't focusing on. You know, I want freedom. I want the freedom. I don't really care about. Well, I do care, but you know, it's like I want freedom more than I do the money. So it's like, but he's kind of in that stage. I think I could get him to do that, maybe for not that much, maybe 3 hours a day, 10 maybe. I mean, it depends. You know.
Yeah, and you can offer education as well, and something that is really interesting to a lot of like younger people. Yeah. I have one of the positions I'm hiring for this stream is basically a clip editor. So a person that just kind of like goes around and like finds like really good moments in the stream, and either like points those out to the editor, or like posts those on Instagram or things like that, just so that like we sort of like increase that hype or whatever. And a big selling point of that position is like it sounds really pretentious to say this shit, but you get to work with me. Like I know a lot about marketing and shit like that. So like that's something that I would, you know, probably since the stream doesn't make a lot right now, I would be able to offer that as an advantage. That whereas I couldn't pay as much until the broadcast takes off, right?
Right.
And then sorry, go ahead.
Have you found anybody that would do that for free? I'm sure there's like, you know, old time members that have been here a long time that would do that for you.
Yes, I have found people for free, but I refuse to not pay them. And the reason is because Initially you get like a really good sense of morality when I say something like oh, how nice. It's like, nope, it's selfish because if I don't pay a person, I can't hold them to expectations.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I'm going to pay my mods. So I'm doing one mod who I just already know is going to be a mod. Then I'm doing one application, and those mods will be paid. Like they're going to be paid mods, and then I'm going to demod everybody else, and that's their job. Literally, is not to ban people from the chat that call me an idiot because they can do that. I don't care. I never ban people for that stuff. Unless they go like super ham, like that one dude, but like recently. But their job is literally to keep the chat going and literally to keep the community talking, and that's what they got to do.
That'll also, now I think about it, paying a moderator that makes him work extremely hard at that job too.
I hope so. Yeah. And then what you do later is like, we have like a day, like, so when the stream actually like takes off, let's say we have like 400 or 500 concurrents, you get a day, and I'm getting consistent donations. Let's say I'm making like $50 or $100 a day in donations. We get a day or two where we just donate everything that is made through donations to the moderators.
Right. Kind of like Co-Carnage.
Yeah, exactly like him. I mean, this is a business model based on him for a reason, because this dude kills it.
Yeah, I used to watch him like crazy, but now it's like I watch you when I outsource. That's pretty much it.
I actually don't watch Ko a lot. I don't really. It's not like, I mean, his stream is like amazing and just like excellent and whatever, but it's just like not the kind of entertainment I like, so I just don't watch it. But I respect him on a level that I respect few people. Like is very, very high. But like when you're running a broadcast, I think the most important thing is that chat is talking and moving. So anything you can do to incentivize that is really important. And so like having moderators that kind of like come in and are like, and some people in your community will be like, awesome. This is really rare that this happens. But I'll shout out like Arc Athens, right? Like where he's like, hey, by the way, you guys should check out Discord because it's like a cool place, right? And he'll do that on his own volition. That's like super amazing, right? Like, but you wanna do things to encourage people to get that kind of interaction and chat all the time.
Keep the attention on you. Keep it flowing towards your stuff. Keep it on you, right?
Well, moreover, basically, like just create a community where people are having fun in the chat as well as like watching your broadcast. Like I actually wouldn't even care if people spam the emotes all the time, like because it would just keep shit going, right? Whatever it really. I mean, obviously, like if someone's like spamming the same emote and it's the same guy 7 times, right? But like if people are just posting emotes or talking about things, like these are things that I think like are really, really good. So like I always appreciate like the random like hoggers in chat or like the keeping things going. I think for like a new viewer, when they come in, like they'll do a couple of things. Like they'll check the chat and they'll be like, is stuff happening? Is he view botting? And they'll also like look at the broadcaster, like, is he excited to be here? Like, is it, all that stuff. Yeah.
Definitely.
A little bit of a digression, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. That's I actually feel really good about this like 3-step process that for the next like 6 months, which like I think if you do these, and I think you will do them, like I think you will be in a really interesting place in that time frame.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I mean, that's why I've basically been putting all these hours in, Yeah, I have an enormous amount of respect for you, dude. Like, there are so few people that are living it. like a lot of people talking, a lot of people saying like they want to do it, and like you actually putting in the hours. That is really cool. Yeah, it's a combination. You, Gary V. I mean, Tony Robbins. The Rock, actually, Dwayne The Rock Johnson too. He's a big one. He's like in the gym, stop being a fucking pussy. You know what I'm saying? I got really into. What's really cool about The Rock is he wasn't like this. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Is initial Dwayne Johnson was a really quiet, shy, like uncharismatic dude, and he built himself into this amazing entertainer.
And like that to me is one of the most inspiring stories, because if you take a guy with like a lot of natural talent like Ninja, not to say that Ninja's a bad example, that can't put in the work. Take like take like someone, all these guys put into work, but take someone that has like a really good natural charisma and their stream takes off in like 6 months to a year, right? Like that to me is like less impressive to see than it is like the dude that was like really quiet, didn't really talk to people, but like personally developed himself into a fucking monster.
Right. Jocko Willing, yeah. He's a big influencer, man.
Yeah, though that guy might have been a guy that like always had it. I don't know.
I don't know. He's a different breed.
Yeah, that guy's like almost not human. that dude's like really spooky. Yeah, there's some dudes like Gary Vee is the same way. I almost think that comparing yourself to people like that is insanely unhealthy, because like you have to, like, it's really important to develop your own standards for your life. And Gary says this, but he honestly doesn't say it enough, where it's like, if your story is, I want to work 6 hours a day, make enough money to live a good life and hang out with my family, that's fine. And like, just identify that and do that. And then don't be jealous of anyone like Gary Vee who's working 18 hours a day, because like his life isn't necessarily better than yours. Like that guy runs a 900 person firm. I ran a 105 person firm. There was no end of bullshit that I had to deal with. Like I was stressed out of my mind all the time, even though I was doing a ton to like, it's a very hard life, right? Like, it's like, what you're doing right now is like really hard, you know, but identify for yourself when you have, right? Like the time that you want to spend getting after it, and then be okay with that. That's what I think what Gary means by self-awareness.
Maybe if maybe in 6 months I don't make it at 15K, right? Like if I went 3 days a week to the gym and did not source those nights, it might be slower. But if I do these steps that you've laid out, like, you know, make my own Shopify storefront, run ads, that should maybe equal out, sort of.
What do you mean?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 days a week, I go to the gym instead of coming home and just jumping on straight sourcing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just in the gym for so many hours, just coming home and just spending time with the wife.
Yeah, and like once you're able to eliminate your full-time job, you'll have a lot of that time open up, and you can decide if you want to double down and put that into your business, or if you want to do it on family. I will tell you right now, I would be shocked if you were working for someone else in 6 months, just like from everything I've heard of you.
Yeah,
I'd be amazed.
That's the goal.
Yeah. I would be amazed if you're still working your full-time job in 6 months. I would be unbelievable, because I cannot see how with your drive and your research and what the time you're putting in, you would not be successful.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's really need to hear it, you know?
Yeah. There's you've listened to Jocko, and like a certain amount of this is just grit, dude. It's like, it's just like raw, like, you know, when Jocko says like, get out of bed, like, as hard as that is for me individually, right? Like, but a lot of that stuff in my life I do where it's like, I don't feel like exercising today, I have a stomachache, whatever. All right, just go do it. Like the number of like self-development advice that actually boils down to like, don't be a pussy, is like huge. Like that's like, I feel like I spend most of my time doing that. So which is why like one of these kind of conversations where I was like, all right, let's like dig into this. I already got a guy that's not being a pussy. So like, how do we do this the right way? Right. That's like really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Man.
It just sucks to hear that, because for a person who is not there yet and is like, oh man, this is like so overwhelming, like I haven't even begun, like where do I start? Like, you start by picking up your clothes and folding them. You start by making your bed. You start by cooking a good meal today, right? Like, and then that compounding effect carries through your entire life and becomes
Discipline
more and more and more until you make it.
Yep. Discipline equals freedom.
Discipline equals freedom, man.
Yep.
100%.
Love it.
Awesome, dude. So any other questions or anything, like any other thoughts?
I don't think so. I'm excited to take these action steps here that you've laid out, the conclusions. I see them as action steps, and applying them and seeing where I end up in 6 months. It's I'm actually really jittery, but I need to go to bed because 4 a.m. comes early. But actually 3 a.m. because air drive. But yeah, it'll be nice.
All right, man. Well, I will say I really, with no bullshit, not blowing any sunshine, like I really completely have faith that you will make it through this if you keep pushing forward. Like you have an example where you've already done a lot and like you've invested in the right stuff. You're investing your time the right way. It's an honor to talk to someone like you that's getting after it, because I know in like 3 to 5 years when we meet up, it's going to be with you running an Amazon empire, and it's going to be killer. So like, I'm totally supporting you. I'm really glad you're a member of this community. If there's anything I can do to help, and like, I like hopefully like keep coming back and like posting and like telling me like where you're at with this. I'm sure we'll have a follow-up conversation as well. Like anything I can do, let me know. I get really excited about this because this is so close to like my own story. Right. So it's so cool to see you do this.
Thank you, man. Wow. Can't believe I actually got to talk to you're actually one of my role models, you know.
Oh, thanks, man.
Since I've been watching you since what? I was
long
17,
time.
17? Yeah. That's actually crazy. I've been watching you since I was 17 years old.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Holy crap. But yeah, it's been an honor.
Yeah, it's been an honor for me too, man. Thank you so much for talking to me. And like, this is, I really, really am excited to see where you go with this.
Thanks, man.
Cool, dude.
I'll report back.
All right. Yeah, please do. Until next time, man.
See ya.